we make this smaller and smaller now. Less electricity, believe it or not.
Hold on, let me get it going.
Right. This is the Committee on Government Operations, Public Safety, and Public Service. This is Thursday, February 20th. This is 2014, not 13, as appears on the agenda. Yeah, we're at 6 p.m. I have Council McKinnon.
Yeah.
I have Council Delasola. I have Council Simon. I have Council Suchetta.
Here.
Yeah, we have Council Simili. 5 members present, we do have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Please stand, salute the flag. I think that we have a couple that are going to be taken out of.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if you could suspend the rules and take item number 3, please, the gentleman in the audience.
Motion made and, give me a second out here. Motion made and seconded to suspend the rule.
Right? Oh, great.
Comcast, yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Up, is up on, Tina?
I know, it's changed. Number 4. Motion made and seconded to suspend the rule 7.1. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Sir, could you please, okay, we'll read the piece and then state your name and your title.
Certainly.
All right, item number 4. This is a resolution up by Council Sal Suchetta that a representative from Comcast appeared to explain the problem a number of other citizens are having with their digital boxes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Tim Kelly, Director of Government Regulatory Affairs for Comcast, having an address at 55 Concord Street, North Reading, Massachusetts, 01864.
Thank you very much. Councilman Chatham?
Yes, Mr. Kelly, I've had you here before, and you were very cordial, and you helped me out. I've had a number of complaints, and I've also experienced problems with the digital boxes that the Comcast people have. And in my case, I know that they straighten me out, but it happened 3 or 4 times, and they tell me that they have to reboot it over the weekend or some damn thing, and I have to do this and that. Then there's a gentleman that called me, he's a constituent, that told me that his father, 86 years old, has had this problem off and on. He's called Comcast on this problem, and they say that it's a problem they're having with the new digital boxes, and they're trying to straighten it out. And he asked when it might be straightened out, and they didn't give him any satisfaction. We're working on it. So I was wondering if you could bring to this board and the citizens of Everett what might be wrong with these digital boxes, and is there a problem with them?
Sure. This past summer, July 9th, we went through B1 encryption. Our basic service level tier is now all digital, and it's encrypted. At that point in time, we deployed a fair number of digital transport adapters, which are smaller boxes. So our whole system now is all digital, which is a good thing for the citizens and residents of Everett. The other thing that we just recently done is deployed our X1 platform, which is a state-of-the-art platform. The greater Boston region, which Everett's part of, is actually the first area in the country to receive this type of technology. So with the deployment of new technologies, there are bugs that sometimes have to be worked out. I haven't received this type of input from other communities relative to digital boxes not functioning properly, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. I can certainly take this back and talk to my engineering folks and folks that might be familiar and see if there's a system-wide issue, if it's maybe a neighborhood issue. Our network is so advanced that there's always a possibility that there might be a glitch here and there, and we work those things out, but certainly we don't want to in any way, affect our customers, our paying customers, the lifeblood which keeps our business afloat. So I'm glad you've actually brought this forth, and I'd be more than happy to look into it for you.
Appreciate it very much. Could you possibly get back to us with an answer? No, you don't have to appear here, but a written answer or something to that effect?
Absolutely. It's part of my, follow-up protocol is to get back to you, Counselor, and to say this is what I found out. If I could have, do you know how many people have contacted you?
Well, I know, and only one person has contacted me, but I've had 3 or 4 people that are friends of mine that had that problem. I personally have that problem. And what we have to do in my case, I have to go to the green circle button, press that off, wait for a minute or two, and come back to it, and it'll work. One time I had to go through a whole rigmarole with my remote for the TV and the Comcast remote, and the guy spent maybe half an hour with me while we straightened it out. But they told me they're having problems with these digital remote boxes, these digital boxes.
So do you have a newer box? Within the past
It's about a year old,
Okay.
close to a year old.
Counsel, if you don't mind, I'll follow up with you after the meeting, get some more specifics on your box model and things like that,
Okay.
just so we can really dive into this and see if we can figure out what it might be, if it's that specific model or what it might be. Be happy to do that.
Thank you. I think other councilors have questions here.
They do. Councilman Simonelli?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Kelly, you're the go-to guy in Everett here. So if we have any problems, could we go through you?
Absolutely, Counsel, yes.
Could you give us your email or your telephone number?
The email that
I mean, I have a card here, but.
Right, and that's specifically for the city council and for the mayor's office. I'm the liaison that works specifically
So how would we
with-
get in touch with you?
My email address is on the card.
But could you put it over the air for the people who can see?
No,
No?
that's not my role here, sir. I'm the
Why not?
liaison. I am the liaison because we have thousands of customer care representatives that we employ that
So-
can certainly, through you, I can certainly work through you to help your constituents out, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna broadcast my information.
No?
No.
Oh. And who we get in touch with? The main office?
1-800 Comcast.
What number is that? When?
You had to ask me that, didn't you?
Yeah.
1-800 Comcast. I don't have a phone in front of me, whatever the number is.
And could we ask for your name?
When you,
Mr. Kelly?
when you call in,
Yes.
there's 129,000 employees at Comcast. I don't
Well,
know.
I thought you
if
may have
I'm
been
that popular.
the district manager in Everett.
No, I'm the director of community and government affairs for the
Okay, I guess, like politics are, we have to go through the
I'm here for
channels
you.
here. I
I'm
know,
here
but
for
I'm
you,
saying,
Counselor.
I agree with you, but, there's sometimes when you get the runaround. But anyway, the people that are losing their service, are they getting reimbursed for loss of, their service?
So-
Say it goes out a couple, 3, 4 hours?
So within the renewal license that we have with the city, there's usually provision for outages, and I don't know off the top of my head what that entails, but generally, an outage for over 24 hours, there'll be a prorated rebate for the customer if they call in.
Oh, they call in and
Yep.
do that?
They call in, say, my boxes, my service hasn't been working for the past 3 or 4 days, we'll honor that.
Okay, I have no more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Del Sol.
Mr. Kelly used to question, so the people at home know, it's not the box itself. So if we have a bunch of people that have the same issue, I don't want them to run down to Comcast in Malden and switch boxes and have the
Right.
same problem. It's not the box itself, it's the network itself, is that what we're saying?
No. What I'm saying is there could be a myriad of issues. What I'm hearing tonight is it could be a box issue. And like I said, I haven't heard this kind of feedback from other communities, not to say it's not there. Our subscribers could have called in to Comcast and they could have had it fixed remotely.
Okay.
See, the good thing about the new technology that we're deploying in an all-digital system is a lot of things we can do remotely now.
Right.
Whereas we don't have to roll a tech, and there's a lot of upside to that. But there could be an issue with a piece of equipment on a pole that might be impacting 2 or 3 people in a neighborhood. So it's always tough to triangulate exactly
Right,
what's
right.
causing that problem. But I'm gonna take Councilor Sachetta's.
Sachetta, right.
See, I got hung up on the Italian. I wanna say Sacchetta, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna work that and check with our engineers to see if there's been this model box, if we've had problems with glitches or powering up. I mean, we have millions of pieces of equipment deployed,
Right.
so there are gonna be issues, but we wanna make it right, either way.
But if they have an issue, they call the 1-800 number.
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
all right, thank you.
Or if there's specifics, they can work through you to me, and then I can, I leave that open.
No, we have
Just not
cards.
everybody, you cannot put that out.
We all have cards, we can give you them. We'll utilize them.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kelly.
I put you in trouble, didn't I?
I know, I guess so.
Now, do you have any other?
That's it. Thank you.
No,
I
I'm
just
satisfied.
have actually one question. Mr. Kelly, I know I had a problem with my box just recently. It was a power surge type thing that happened for just like 1 minute. And I tried to handle it over the phone with the tech. They were very, cordial and stuff and trying to help. But it didn't succeed. So what they had to do was come out physically to my home and actually replace the box.
Right.
So what is the procedure that these people should do, because they are watching at home and they
Sure.
want to know? And that's where the good councilman is going with this. He wants
Yep.
to know, what is the procedure that they should follow to get this accomplished in the right manner?
Absolutely. The first thing they should do is call up 1-800 Comcast and get in touch with one of our customer care executives. They can pull up information on the account. They can actually link up to a box digitally, do some diagnostics remotely, and they can send a signal or ping the box to see if they can reboot it. They can try that a couple times. If that doesn't work, then they'll have to set up a service call to have a technician come out and either replace the box, or it could be an in-home wiring issue. It could be from the home to the pole, from the pole to our, there are just so many.
There's a number of issues that
Yes,
could be happening.
absolutely.
Okay.
But call us up, 1-800 Comcast right away, just to get the ball rolling.
Thank you, sir. Your pleasure on the matter?
Yes, I'd like to refer this back to the sponsor, please.
Motion made and seconded to refer back to sponsor. All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you.
Excuse customary
My pleasure.
thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any other suspensions out there that you would like to take out of order?
I'd like to suspend rule, take, suspend 7.1 and take item 3, please.
Motion made to suspend Rule 7.1, take item number 3. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. You have done so. Please read item number 3.
All right. Item number 3. This is a resolution of by Council Rosa DeFlorio and Council Cynthia Kennedy. The city contact owner of the Gateway Shopping Plaza in writing requested that they procure traffic detail on weekends and on holidays.
I have two that are on the sign-in sheet, Mark Nichols and Chip McKinstry. I'm sorry if I got the names a little confused there. If you could come up, please,
And Council DeFlorio.
and Council Rosa DeFlorio. Councilwoman, you could take that last chair there, that's fine.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for appearing. I have had numerous complaints in regards to the traffic in the mall, inside the mall, not outside the mall. And I understand there's only one entrance going into the mall, but there's gotta be something done about it. I was personally experienced it myself, the day that I got 4 phone calls, I happened to be at Costco's. For me to get from Costco's to Target, it took me 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that's not exaggerated. I had 4 calls, the state troopers have plenty of calls of what was going on, okay? That day, there was no way you were gonna get out of there. God forbid anybody has a heart attack, anything happens in that mall, there's no way that ambulance is ever getting through there. Now, I received your communication last week, and I respectfully do not agree with what you're saying, blaming it on the bridge. This was way before the bridge happened. Maybe the mall is getting more business. I don't plan on taking the business away from them. It's great. I encourage business. I encourage people to spend money in Everett. But with all the business people there, I don't think it would hurt for you to get a couple of detail cops, only on the weekends, inside the mall, where there's Home Depot people coming, Target people coming. They're all coming from all different directions, and who's going this way, who's going this way, who's coming this way, who's going across, where I think the detail will move the traffic a little faster. It's not gonna resolve the whole problem, and I don't expect it. I don't expect it to resolve the problem. But I believe if we could start with something like that.
Councilwoman, debate through me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
If we could start with something in that effect, and then maybe get together with the state police and do something on the Revere Beach Park, on the Parkway end.
That's probably the appropriate people to actually call.
But this is a
and say-
problem inside the mall. It starts inside the mall first.
That
Because
is every
once I got
property.
through that Target, and once I got outside the mall, it took me 3 minutes to get home. So the issue wasn't outside the mall, it was inside the mall. And this is basically, now, usually if it's not a holiday, it's not as bad. But now maybe it's bad because the bridge is closed, so I understand that. But we still need to do something about it. It is a public safety issue, and I have had numerous complaints about it. So,
Yes.
because I never put anything on the agenda of what I experienced myself. I only put something when I start getting numerous complaints. So-
Exactly. I have a question of the two gentlemen. First of all, can you please state your names and your addresses and titles, please, so that we could have it for the recording?
Mark Nickel, title is the property manager for the Gateway Shopping Center.
And I'm Chip McKinstry, same title.
Thank you.
We share responsibility.
The sharing is caring, that's why.
He gets most of it.
I agree. There you go. Inside the mall right now, is there a traffic detail, or is there a police detail presence with the Everett Police Department?
Right this minute, no. What we've done, though, we understand the traffic issue that we have there. We went ahead and already put a detail on for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
And that's
that'll-
through which department? Everett Police?
Everett Police, yeah.
Okay.
And that'll continue until such time that the traffic on Route 16, if it ever becomes a little bit lighter, or we'll run it for a period of time to see what happens here. And the period of time means for a while. So we will run a detail both Saturdays and Sundays. There's 2 offices on Saturday, and there's 2 offices on Sunday, and the hours are 1 to 5. And just to be proactive, because we don't want the traffic inside the shopping center. We want everything to flow so that the people come and shop at our center. So we're trying to be proactive and do whatever we can to work things out with the traffic details.
Councilwoman Sine?
Thank you. I would appreciate you guys coming up. About 8 years ago, I brought a similar piece up because of, we had an issue that you couldn't get out of the mall, only one way in and one way out, and I wanted MBTA to give you access, and at the time, they said no, they wouldn't allow it. And they said that you can open it if there's an emergency. I do agree with Councilor DeFlorio, this issue's been going for a while, not because of Callahan Tunnel, it's because of the shopping, what's going on more, and I'm glad that you decided to put someone inside there. I think the hours are fine, 1 to 5, and when holidays come up, maybe a little bit more on the holidays and stuff like that, but I think that's a great start that you guys are willing to work with it. I just want to make sure the officers are not sitting in their car and maybe letting them know that we want them physically out there directing the traffic, because I know the state police right now are just moving something. I don't know what they're doing out there, but, yeah, they're not directing traffic physically. So,
Councilors, through me,
So I do want to appreciate that you're working on this with us, and that's a great step that you want to see.
We did state traffic detail, not just a police.
Yeah, presence.
Presence.
So I know you do
Traffic
have an
detail.
officer sometimes in there, with the wagon and stuff. I've seen him in there a few times, during different parts of the days and stuff, but, I'm glad
We
that,
specified 2 locations inside the mall. The first being the Four Corner intersection after you just get past Target,
yeah,
and the second being as you're turning left into the mall. So the traffic coming out from Costco and people coming out from the rest of the mall, as they're trying to merge and getting in the way of the people trying to get in, there's supposed to be a traffic detail there as well. That's what we asked for.
and just one other question. Is this cost being, divided up to the businesses, or is this something that you guys are picking up on your own?
It's through
Okay.
CAM.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilman Delso, did you have a question?
He answered my question, where the details will be posted, what positions in the parking lot, but you did answer my question. Thank you.
Councilman Simonelli?
Thank you, Mr. President. Through you to the gentleman here. I'm just wondering, is there many traffic accidents recorded, say, like maybe monthly, or is there a problem with accidents, traffic accidents?
I'm not aware of it. I don't believe so, but I'm not aware of it. I haven't heard anything come back.
Or don't you guys oversee the whole place?
The accidents aren't called into us, they're called into the police department. The police
But-
they don't necessarily call us
Oh.
if
But,
there's
but
an accident.
we have people there periodically. Daily, we have contractors there, and nobody says
But
anything about it.
it's really not a major problem.
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
Councilman DeFlorio?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Like I said, I really appreciate these 2 guys coming up, and I apologize for getting them over here from far away, because we could have done it in writing. If I had a phone number, I could have called them. So I'm not here to give anybody a hard time, and I certainly, if there is another issue, I'm gonna get together with them, have them give me their phone number of where they are, so I can call them. But I really appreciate what they're doing, and hopefully it works out. So I want to thank you.
I have a question for the sponsors, through me to you, is, how many police reports have we had? Is there a number of police reports, or did we pull any numbers of police reports down there?
I don't think there's an issue with, there isn't a problem with accidents down there,
Okay,
okay? The problem
it's just a traffic flow.
is just the traffic.
Okay.
And what happens is, because the traffic is so bad, you have to realize that eventually, God forbid, an ambulance has to get in through there, they're not gonna get through. There's no way an ambulance is gonna get through there, especially what I experienced the week before Christmas. And I understand it's a holiday, but I also experienced it a couple of weeks ago, but I understand now it's because of the Callahan Tower being closed. So, but I really feel maybe the mall is doing more business, and I certainly don't wanna take it away from them. If people are spending money, the economy's getting better, that's great, as long as we have a safety issue in
Yes.
place. And it looks like these 2 gentlemen have done their job to do so, so I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the sponsors will exchange numbers, and everybody will be on the same page, working together on this, I'm assuming.
I'll make a motion to refer back to sponsor.
Motion made and seconded to refer back to sponsor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Excuse me
The
with
ayes
the
have
customary
it.
thanks.
Excuse the customary thanks. Thank you, gentlemen, for showing up tonight, and wish you the best down there. Please read regular order of business.
All right, item number 1. This is a resolution offered by Council Richard Del Sola that the Traffic and Safety Commission come up with increased safety measures for the crosswalk at the high school.
Councilman Delasola?
Yes, Sergeant Bova couldn't make it tonight, but I did talk to him during the week, and he gave me some pictures of a sign that I may put up there on Elm Street. Also, I did look into, the city of Cambridge has raised crosswalks, which will slow the traffic down in that area, but it'd be very expensive between catch basins and drainage and all this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is refer this to the Traffic Commission and see if they like the idea of the sign. We'll put the signs up there and see if that slows traffic down a little bit.
This is the picture of the sign,
Yes,
correct? Okay,
that's the picture there.
thank you.
They do have some signs like this that light up and they flash and all that, but now you're gonna get into utility work and underground wiring, and I'm trying to get this the safest way and the cheapest way we can do this. Because I live right around the corner, and I've seen the kids cross the street. They'll cross from the crosswalk all the way to the blinking lights. I thought of a crossing guard, but I don't think it'll work. The kids are older. I think they're harder to cross than the younger kids. And I was told by Sergeant Bover also that a school zone, a high school is not considered a school zone. Like an elementary school is a school zone. I haven't a chance to look into that, but this is what Sergeant Bover told me.
Would you like to look into it?
I would look into that. I mean, a school is a school as far as I'm concerned. If it's,
Would you like
if
a
it-
grant further time on it to look
Ye-
into that, or?
no, I'll send it right to traffic, but I could look into it myself. I mean, elementary to high school, a school's a school. Okay, so, like I said, refer this to Traffic Commission, and work with them and see what they come up with.
Actually, I have one more speaker as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
Councilman Simonelli?
Yes, just a suggestion, you know those flashing yellow lights they have with the, like you say, that you was referring to with the 20-mile zone when school's in?
Yeah.
They can maybe possibly, put on a pole a flashing light with the, 20 miles an hour, you know, maybe 500 feet up from the
Yeah.
intersection on both sides.
We can
Just a
maybe-
suggestion.
We can maybe look into that, use the wiring that's already on the poles that are there. If they're put in the right spot, it might work.
So,
Thank you.
what we want is a recommendation out of this committee, so when it does go to the floor, that's the recommendation.
Yes.
So, what would your recommendation be on this piece?
I would recommend, like Council Simonelli said, if we can have some kind of flashing light set up there and signage on the traffic.
So send it back into
Send it back
traffic
to
with a
traffic.
request.
Request signs and flashing lights, warning that that there are students crossing.
Motion made and
Second?
seconded to have this referred back to traffic with a recommendation from this board to have more signage and also to seek or look into the possibility of having the yellow flashing lights there.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Right. Item number 2 is a resolution by Council Rosa DeFlorio to increase pedestrian safety awareness at the intersection of Church, Mansfield, and Broadway.
Can we invite Council DeFlorio?
Councilman DeFlorio?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe, unfortunately, Sergeant Bover is unable to attend on Thursdays. So my recommendation is I'm going to refer this to the mayor's office, to the chief of staff, Melissa Murphy. And
Would
I'm
you like
gonna-
to read the response?
You could read the response, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
You want me to read it, John? Okay. There was a response by Sergeant Bova. I did, but I do not work on Thursday nights, period. I have duties at the Malden District Courts every Thursday, so I cannot alter my schedule, period. I have to work the day shift, period. I am going to contact the sponsors and speak with them by phone to see if there's anything I can do to help them out, but I do not believe I'll be available for meetings. Maybe I can send a written reply after I speak with them and get more information, period. Thank you, Sergeant Bova. Did you get the invite to the committee meeting in council chambers for the 20th at 6 PM? That was from Caroline. So, there was basically no reply back on that, but that was sent out by Caroline to him, so.
Well, Mr. Chairman, this is the second time that this has happened. So I like to get results. I'm a person, when I put something on, I don't put something on just to put something on. I put it on because I get complaints. And we are here to serve our constituents. So what I'm gonna do is, because I do get, when I call the mayor's office, I've always had excellent no matter what. What I call for, they're always there, they always get the job done. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna refer it to the mayor's office and have the chief of staff put an appointment together with Sergeant Bova. I wanna sit down with them to come up with a solution. There is a problem in that corner, and we need to come up with a solution. I don't have the solution because I don't have that kind of experience. I certainly don't want to take Sergeant Bova away from his time, so we can maybe make, where Thursday night is tough, and I understand. I mean, people do have families, they do have other activities, and I don't have a problem with it. So we could send it to the mayor's office, we can meet at a time that is convenient for myself, for the chief of staff, and for Sergeant Bova. So I'm gonna refer it to the mayor's office, and
Actually, it will be someone from the board, our board, that would refer it, so
oh,
just,
I'm with the recommendation. I'm
We're
sorry. I'm
looking
so
for your
used to referring
recommendation.
things. That's
Yep.
been my job for the last year. I'm thinking of referring it, make a recommendation to refer it to the mayor's office, and then give it a couple of months, not something that I plan on working on overnight.
and you and Sergeant Bova will get together and
Right.
discuss this with them.
Or maybe we can make, I'm leaving it up to the board, maybe you can make a recommendation to refer it back to sponsor, then I can put it back on in a couple of months, and we come up with a solution. Whatever you feel is convenient for you is okay with me.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to refer to the mayor's office to the chief of staff, and she can follow up with Council DeFlorio.
With
Motion.
60 days.
With 60
Do you have
days.
a question on this, Council?
all set.
Oh, okay.
Say so.
Motion made and seconded to
Seconded.
refer this to the mayor's office and have the chief of staff and also Councilwoman Rosa DeFlorio work together with Sergeant Bova on this. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
your
good
time.
night. Excuse for the customary thanks, thanks for appearing tonight again. Please read item number 5.
Item number 5, this is a resolution up by Council Leo McKinnon to invite Senator Dina Medico, the head of the Little League, or a representative of the mayor's office, to appear at this meeting relative to the $50,000 to do over the snack shack and bathrooms at Sacramone Park.
If no one has an issue with me speaking from the chair, that's what I'm asking now.
Go ahead, you
but-
can speak from the chair.
Thank you. Could we have either the chief of staff or Jamie Erickson before us, or both, please?
New to us.
Could you just state your name so that we know?
Melissa Murphy, Mayor DeMaria's Chief of Staff.
Thank you.
Jamie Erickson, Planning and Development Director.
Thank you. My question, it's my piece, basically, I put it on. There was, I spoke to Senator DiDomenico tonight. He's not able to attend. He's at a family function right now. He asked me to actually grant further time so that he could come to the next public safety meeting. But since you're both here, I'd like to ask a couple questions on this. He had stated to me that the money was allocated in July. Is that true, or?
I received a call from the state about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
They did not disperse the money because they were afraid there was going to be 9 C cuts from the governor. When the 9 C cuts didn't come, then they decided they would start sending the contracts out. So they said to look out for the contract over the next month. This was 3 weeks ago. We have not got the contract yet. So while the funding was in the July 1st budget, the money was not dispersed until now. So we
Okay,
still
so
haven't,
that's-
we still haven't actually received it yet.
When will that be coming in, do you know?
The person I spoke to from DHCD said that we should expect to see it in this next month. This was 3 weeks ago, so I'm waiting for that contract now. To see the contract, then we'll sign the contract, then the check will be dispersed.
Okay. And, let me see, how much is the funds for?
$50,000.
It's 50,000, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Yeah, there was a question of whether it was 25 or 50, and he cleared that up for me tonight, and I just wanted to make it clear tonight that it is $50,000. That is allocated for the snack shack and the bathrooms, I believe, at
Correct, yeah. I mean,
Sacramone Park.
the contract through the state will have a more concrete description as to what we can use the money for, but that's our understanding.
Okay. Do you know when that may all start happening? Will it be ready for the, the baseball season this year?
Well, we had a discussion in-house about this the other day. Hopefully, we'll get the contract within the next week. And I think we're gonna work off the existing building that's there now. and the thought is maybe extending it a little bit so that we can fit an additional bathroom. And the plan is to have it be a community built, so the city will get the supplies, it'll be a lot like the 9/11 Memorial, the city will get the supplies, and then there's different organizations that wanna donate their time, towards the manufacturing of the hut or to the upgrading of the hut. So they're hoping that we'll have something done, at least the bathroom's ready for spring kind of thing, but it all depends on when that contract comes through.
Yeah,
So-
we can't start spending the money
Until
until
we have it.
we have the contract in place, and actually until, well, it depends on the type of contract it is too. If it's a reimbursement contract, then we can spend the money as soon as the contract is executed. If it's a full grant where they just give us the money and then we spend the money, then we probably have to wait until we get the money, and usually it's through a wire transfer, and that could take another few weeks after we get the contract signed and executed.
Some point after the snow, hopefully.
It's, yeah.
Is there do we have to send this out to bid, or is this actually something that could be actually done by someone that is in the organization, will donate time, or?
We may have to bid the materials, depending on what the cost of the materials are. That's kind of an easier thing, because a lot of the time you just go off the state bid list for that. We don't really have to, 3 cement blocks kind of thing, 4 toilets. But we will not have to bid the project if people are gonna be donating their time.
Okay.
So that'll save a
Great.
lot of time.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, what I'd like to do is grant further time for this, invite you both back with Senator DiDomenico, so that he could be here as well. He asked me to do that, so that's what I'm going to ask someone to make a motion to do that as well. Could you do that? Actually, Council Asani?
One question to you, would we rather wait a month or two so they can see what's going on with the money, before we ask someone to come up with the same stuff?
He wanted it for the next meeting, actually, so I told him, I said, and that will be, excuse me, what would that be? On March 10th,
Monday.
so,
Which I don't think we need to invite Mr. Erickson up again, because he's already explaining what's going on, so I think it's irrelevant for him to come back in 2 weeks, where I think
I
it's
agree.
better when we know when something's concrete.
yeah. What I'd like to do is, then I'd grant further time to have Mr. Erickson come back again at
Yeah.
that time, when we have something.
I'd like to make a suggestion, I can't even say it, suggestion to invite, grant further time, invite Senator Sal DiDomenico, and then just invite him.
Okay. Councilman Delasola?
Just a couple of quick questions. If the money is granted to us in donation work, a lot of contractors never donate their time, would there be an issue with the 50,000? And if we only use 30, what happens with the other 20?
The way the contract's written, usually you have to use the 50 for the project, but I don't see it coming in under 50 with all the supplies that we would need for the bathrooms alone and the storage.
In all likelihood, $50,000. Yeah, we'll have to be very, depending on the extensiveness of the actual renovation work, which I think is being analyzed now, to see the condition of the bathrooms and of the huts, especially if they need to do any new utility work. Because if they have to do extensive plumbing work and they have to buy supplies for that, $50,000 will go very quickly.
Right. Would the two organizations using this, the football and the Little League, would they have an input on how to design this concession stand?
I think that's the full intent
I
of
think
some of
that's
the
it.
meetings that have happened already.
Okay.
Yep.
I actually, as the sponsor, invited someone from those organizations to come out, and they're not here, so I know that they were invited. So they'll probably be more involved when it starts getting.
Once we get it going?
Yeah, I mean, up
Get going.
until now, I know I personally have had conversations with Mike Bono from the Little League side of things,
Right.
and he's very much rallying the troops, so to speak.
Yeah, I talked to him.
That's fantastic. It's great to have their
Right.
input on this, and.
I think Little League is around the beginning of April. I mean,
Yeah.
football, I would think it'd be done by then, but
Hopefully, we can have it done as soon as we can. Obviously, weather depending will be
Right.
part of it, and also when can we get the contract executed and the money in our hands, or when can we start using the money and get it reimbursed? So we'll have to, that's kind of a wait-and-see type game right now, unfortunately.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So the recommendation would be to grant further time and invite Senator DiDomenico to the next public safety meeting. Government
I second.
affairs. And the reps also from each organization, correct?
Yes.
All right. Recommendation, motion made and seconded to invite Senator DiDomenico and reps from both organizations to the next Government Operations, Public Safety, and Public Service meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you for appearing tonight.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. And seconded. All those in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Let's get out of here.